Welcome. You're listening to the Skin Ritual Wellness Circle podcast with Meagan Jean and Lainey Porter. Here we explore an eclectic collection of our guidance and support towards feeling amazing, calm, and whole every day. We'll learn how to care for our skin, body, and mind, the rituals that help connect us to ourselves, and embrace the fact that our needs are important. If you've ever been cycling from self-loving to self-forgetting, been yearning for better skin with proper advice, or you're ready for the permission to put yourself first and adopt loving wellness rituals into your day, then this podcast is for you. The beautiful thread that runs through today's podcast is the knowing that your skin is just too important. It is too important to leave in the hands of just anyone. It is too important even to leave in the hands of yourself. And I'll do a lot of explaining on that. But I think I was reflecting on the fact that when things are not in our genius zone, why do we put so much pressure on ourselves to know all things and to make all the choices from our own perspective? I share a few stories in today's podcast where taking matters into my own hands sort of didn't pay off. With time, with money, with just all the things. And it's a definite thing that I've seen in all my years being a skin therapist, where people just cannot find the right skincare, the right therapies. And it's an absolute minefield out there of information these days, more so than ever. Most people say to me, how do I know what's right for me? There's too much choice. Well, in today's episode, we're discussing the best way to make these choices and how getting the right advice saves you in every single aspect that you can imagine. And the greatest benefit is you will have fabulous skin that you love, and you know that your skin is getting everything that it needs. I've nearly been in the skincare game for 20 years now. And in all of those years, through all the technological advancements, social media, information at our fingertips, right back to when, well, back then, there wasn't that much in the early 2000s, I will admit. But the number one thing that clients have said over the years, this is the number one, is they don't know what skincare is right for their skin. And they don't know where to go to get the right information. And they probably, you may be relating to this, you maybe have so much stuff, so much skincare at home sitting in your cupboard that you don't use because it wasn't right for you, it made you feel reactive, it was feeling yuck on your skin, whatever. Like, oh yeah, I bought this thing and it's just not for me. Now, I've been going through a little bit of a personal lesson, I reckon, at the moment. This is unrelated to skincare, but it so is related to what we're talking about, where I think cutting corners, I just am finding it is not working. Not at all. And so I might have mentioned this in one of the previous podcasts. I've found that, for example, I decided to go and buy a new computer just towards the end of lockdown. And I sat there going, okay, I'm going to do my own research. I'm just going to look, what's a computer brand that is good? Okay, I'll go with this one. I read on a couple of websites about the computer itself. I was after a laptop and I was looking at numbers like storage and quad core speeds, and I'm going to leave it there because I have no idea what I was looking at basically. And I looked at the price and I thought to myself at the time, oh my God, I don't even really need a very good computer anyways. I mean, what do I do on my computer? Like spreadsheets and go on the internet, obviously, for a lot of the programs that I use to run my business and, indulge in all my personal life. I don't need a good computer. It'll be fine. It was not fine. The one that I got ended up being so wrong for me. It didn't have enough storage. It was not coping with all the tabs that I had open on the internet browser. It wasn't connecting to the internet well. It had the worst camera. And I suddenly stopped and thought, wait a minute. I wanted to record footage on here. I am actually using my laptop right now to record this podcast. I need something that is good for those purposes and all the things. And so what did I do? I ended up going into the store, into a computer shop, and talking with someone who knew their stuff. I, of course, had a budget, but this time it was not so low because I thought this is ridiculous. Trying to cut corners is not going to give me the results that I need. They told me about, this computer, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, got myself the computer that I need, that's perfect, that serves its purposes. Yes, I spent some money on it, but what did I also have now? An extra computer sitting there. Now I've got two computers, one that I don't even want to look at. Thankfully, the good part about this story is that I did manage to sell it to my father-in-law. So, not for what I bought it for, but all right, fine, cut a bit of losses and kind of all's well that ends well, right? Not really. It just made me think, cutting corners, trying to look into something that is so beyond my genius zone, and why on earth would I even need to take up my brain space in knowing about computers anyways? Oh my gosh, it was a costly, time-wasting, cut corners type of exercise. And I realized that this is probably something that's happened a few times of late where I've consciously gone, I didn't need to be a genius in that. I should have just gone right to the source, found the right information, be led by the right people, and it would have actually saved me so much of everything in the future. So that empathy that you're sharing with me right now, no doubt, poor Meagan and her computer. Not really. It is definitely, though, it is definitely the type of empathy I share with my clients almost every single day, because I see this struggle that so many have with choosing the right skincare. Knowing your stuff is important. Doing your research, and these days you can follow people. These days you can go on the internet. You can find a million blogs, a million articles on different things. They're great. a lot of product companies give you information about the product and ingredients and what to look for, and that's great. And it's all correct, it's all relevant. But the one thing that the research doesn't show you is what is actually good for you. Just like me looking at the computer information, it can tell me facts, figures, numbers, RAM, quad speeds, and okay, I'm going to stop trying to sound like a computer nerd because I'm clearly not. But at the end of the day, it doesn't say, oh yeah, Miss Podcaster, content creator, business runner, whatever, This is the kind of computer that you actually need. It's just going to tell you what it does. And that's what skincare does as well. Finding the right information, it's all there. But is it right for you? Does it actually take into consideration all of the combinations of skin types, skin conditions that you suffer with to give you the right indication whether it's actually going to help you? Does it ask what other things that you are currently using on your skin at the moment? Does it let you know that maybe this actually would clash with those other therapies that you're trying at the moment? Does the information know your history? Does it know what you've used in the past? Does it know what kind of reactions you've had to different products? And not just products in the short term, but even knowing your skin history right back to when you were a teen. Okay, I'm just being cheeky now. Being a bit rhetorical, I guess, because the answer is no. No, Meagan. Stop being a smartass. And then I guess my question to you is, do you really want to waste your weeknights and weekends researching this kind of stuff anyways? Just like me with the computer. No need to know it in the long term. I just want what's right. So tell me what I need, Truly, there are so many variables that come into play to come up with the right combination of skin treatment and skincare products for you. That is just the most honest thing I can say. We can all acknowledge that our health is 100% different to others. From person to person, we all have a different combination of health concerns. We all have different skin color, hair color, eye color, fashion choices. What would look good on me would not look good on you. And dietary. The things that I can tolerate or not tolerate is completely different from one person to the other. So why do we view our skin as any different? There's a reason that when we're in need, health-wise, we go to the doctor and they give us a prescription. I think I've used this analogy a million times, but it's like saying you have a headache. So you go to the pharmacy and you know that Panadol is going to be good, paracetamol tablets or whatever, maybe ibuprofen. But you also know there just might be something better behind the chemist counter, right? Well, imagine if one day the pharmacist said, you know what, I'm going to go on my lunch break, but if you need anything back there, you just go and help yourself. Go for it. You'd be flabbergasted. They'd probably lose their pharmaceutical license, yes. But for the sake of fiction, let's pretend that happened. What would happen? You would go behind the counter and look at all these different medicines have absolutely no idea what half of them do. You could pick something up and you know what? It could be better than paracetamol. It could work an absolute treat. Or you could pick up something that could have ghastly side effects and not treat your problem at all. Just as your body and your health is too important to leave to chance, so is your skin. Your skin is too important. And then coming back to that first thing I was talking about earlier in today's podcast, when it comes to just making do or cutting corners, again, your skin is too important. And I promise you, if you want to improve your skin, if there are skin conditions that you want to rectify, that you want to dissolve away, to become better, if you really want to move on to using the absolute golden stuff that is good for you individually, this is where seeing the right people, getting the right skincare advice, it is a priceless exercise. Seeing a naturopath recently, I was given a specific combination of different vitamins to combat all of the health concerns that I have. It's the same with your skin. Being given a proper combination of products is what is going to help to get the exact results that you yearn for your skin. It's just the truth. And that might look like blending different elements of skincare products from different ranges to give you that specific cocktail, that specific concoction that's going to work brilliantly for you and you only. And when you're happy to be led by a qualified skin therapist, they're going to be able to choose not only products from different ranges, but also products that contain certain ingredients that are going to help your skin. They will be the most powerful ingredients that will help and get you the results quicker. But also, one of the things I love to do is choose certain ingredients that just might tick a few boxes with your skin concerns. Almost like this ingredient will almost be like, that saying, killing two birds with one stone. It might help to strengthen your capillaries, therefore help to lessen the inflammation and redness in your skin, but it also doubles as an anti-aging type of ingredient. It's a powerful antioxidant, and that's going to help you as well. So the right ingredient can be a game changer for many, many different processes that you'd like to correct within your skin. And if you're led to have that ingredient running through your cleanser and your serum and your cream, for example, oh my gosh, the intensity. Happy days. It is going to be phenomenal for you. Pretty much for every single skincare brand out there, they all have different ranges. All the different ranges within the brand will treat the different skin types and skin conditions, and that's great. But what happens is that, and I mean this even happens with the skincare range that we have at HQ at Circle Skincare and Beauty. We use Soti's professional skincare. All the ranges have their generalized ways that they treat the skin type or condition. So it's going to give you what that brand deems appropriate for that skin type or that skin condition. Now, there's a point to this. If that's the case, then you are only ever going to get a general effect when you use that range. And who's to say that that range is actually getting it right for your skin? The most common overgeneralized skin type that I've seen over the years that gets self-diagnosed and perhaps doesn't get the proper personalized prescription of ingredients and actions that they need as individuals is combination skins. As a general rule, we all classify a combination skin as someone who is oily in the T-zone and dry on the cheeks. That can mean, but is not always the rule, that they get breakouts. And with that in mind, certain brands of skincare will formulate their combination skin line to be highly mattifying and maybe help with breakouts. And I'm not saying that that's wrong, but then what happens to the combination skin who actually says, I don't really get that oily though? I guarantee you they're the types of clients that come into Circle and say, oh my goodness, I bought this product and it was rubbish. It made my skin feel so dry. And maybe as a result, this is just things that can happen with incorrect skincare usage. They have either dried out completely, become flaky. It has made the breakouts worse. Perhaps they've got these dried up breakouts, like congestion on their skin. It might be that blackheads become more of an issue because their skin has been dried out, the hydration has been taken out, and it's like there's just not that water lubrication to push that thickened oil up and out onto the surface. So you end up with congestion. You end up with blackheads. If the product has been overstripping their skin, then that also takes you down the rabbit hole of sensitivity, where the barrier of the skin, the barrier function, as we call it, is now impaired. And all of that beautiful cement, the oils and ceramides, which are meant to line in between our skin cells, just like bricks and mortar, has become really shoddy. And any type of allergen that comes onto the surface has a much better chance of having a little bit of an effect. Our skin defenses go down. And yes, it can snowball from there. Keeping on the example of someone that has combination skin, we're all not so fortunate that our one and only skin type or just one simple skin condition is our only beef that we have with our skin, unfortunately. A lot of us will then say things like, I'm not happy with my pore size. I'm really finding that, my skin might get flaky. I have pigment. I'm concerned with aging, or I'm definitely wanting to lessen the aging effects if I can. So there's always many layers to every individual's skin history and the results that they want to achieve. And for a large percentage of us, clients come in and say, as much as they'd love to treat X, Y, and Z, they are also super sensitive. So many things, so many individual concerns that make you, right? So if I did have a client that came in and they were concerned about balancing up combination skin, self-diagnosed, but they also had a concern with pigmentation, when the skin becomes darker in certain areas, anything from freckles right through to really quite large dark blemishes on their skin, they will find that sticking with a range that is designed to treat combination skin, it just is not going to have anything in there that will address their pigmentation concerns. This is where getting the right advice is so vital. It is paramount, because if you are going to use a cleanser, a eye cream, a toner, a serum and a cream, then wouldn't you want that combination to have all the bits and pieces in there that are going to treat all of those concerns at once? Sticking to something which is purely for one purpose, it's kind of a time waster. It's too generalized, and you could be getting so much more from those few minutes in the morning and evening by having something that is completely tailored to you. What I mentioned earlier as well about having specific ingredients selected for your skin that, as I mentioned, that saying, kills two birds with one stone. I might say to you, right, well, I'm choosing a cleanser for you. It is a milky cleanser, so it will still keep your skin super hydrated, but it also contains grapefruit extract in there. Grapefruit extract is going to be fabulous because it helps to break down any excess oils. And you know what? That citrus component, that vitamin C that it contains within, that is actually going to help with brightening your pigment. This is all via a personally prescribed cleanser. That's just one product. Next, what we're going to do is prescribe you a moisturizer that does help with skin balancing, that does help with that hormonal fluctuation that you might get, where you get a little bit of a breakout here, but the next day you feel dry, all those concerns that we have as a combination skin. But what we want to do is also prescribe you a vitamin C serum, which is going to help with healing, help as an antioxidant, help with pigmentation, help to keep your skin really fresh. And we are basically ticking all the boxes of your individual concerns with this personally prescribed skincare with specific ingredients that help you. That is one of my greatest joys in life. Getting to be that alchemist and knowing that what is prescribed is going to help you as an individual. When your skincare is personally prescribed, you're going to use it too. The therapist will know what kinds of textures you prefer, lighter or heavier moisturizers, for example, really refreshing cleansers, right through to ones that are super thick and nourishing. Getting pleasure out of the use of your skincare is just as important as it actually working. And the real goal is to make sure that it's skincare that you want to use, so it doesn't sit there in the cupboard. It's not added to that huge hoard of stuff that you've got sitting in the bathroom. Because realistically, looking at all of that skincare that you don't use, that you don't enjoy, that is a perfect example of where, cutting the corners, and as noble as the intention was to grab something, go to the skincare aisle at the supermarket and get something, feel good, #self-care, It ends up being just like my old computer, right? And you probably can't give all of that crummy skincare off to your father-in-law. He ain't going to use it. So, when it comes to skincare, please be educated. I'm not saying you shouldn't be. But you know what? If you don't want to be, you don't have to be. Just make sure you find yourself someone that is going to lead you in a way that feels beautiful and aligned. You feel that trust. You feel that warmth coming from them. if you are local to the Beaconsfield area in Melbourne, in Australia, you can always come and see us. But that's not going to be the case for everyone. So finding that local skin clinic or salon that is going to help you. It is game-changing. It is life-changing when you have your skin taken care of and you know that you're using the good stuff. Your skin is too important to leave in the hands of just anything, or even yourself if you don't feel confident to make the right choices. Just as you would agree, your body is too important, your health is too important, your mental health is too important. It all is. Getting the right advice is always going to be a good investment. It really is. You won't be wasting time. No cutting corners, right? And really, that's the main message of this podcast today. You do not need to know it all, but just find the right place to be led that feels aligned to you. Now, if you want to know more about what we're all about, definitely I urge you to follow us on our social media at Circle Skincare and Beauty. Or you can always check out our website, www.circleskincareandbeauty.com. My name is Meagan Jean. I'm so happy that you've joined me and you've gone the distance to the end of this podcast. Subscribe to our podcast for our mixed bag of topics that we cover with all things skin, ritual, and wellness. As always, our greatest wish for you is to feel good and own it. You've been listening to Meagan Jean and Lainey Porter. From the bottom of our hearts, we truly thank you for joining us in the Skin Ritual Wellness Circle. You can find us at www.circleskincareandbeauty.com, and we are known as at Circle Skincare and Beauty on all social media. If you've enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, rate, review. It's going to help other people just like you find this supportive circle, bringing the skin ritual wellness vibes to all. We look forward to chatting with you next time. Until then, feel good and own it.